voice of the border.
Tonight, vandals target one of the region's natural wonders.
Susan Lee, the front-runner to lead the Liberal Party.
And a locally made test for drink spiking results in a first charge.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. Police are investigating a shocking act of vandalism at Paradise Falls in the Alpine National Park.
The base of the falls has been spray painted with a graffiti tag, leaving locals and tourists furious.
Paradise Falls marred with a new addition.
Disgusting bit of art. Not even art, graffiti that's sort of, disgracing what we think is beautiful.
Officers this morning searching the area. Items bagged for investigation.
We have recovered a spray can and a couple of spray can lids, so they'll be analysed forensically by our crime scene officers by Grada.
Police partnering with Parks Victoria.
And then there's some paint splatter on that rock just there. Paradise Falls is a site of significant Aboriginal cultural heritage, so it's going to be quite a sensitive investigation. We'll be doing our best to hold the perpetrators to account.
Pretty disgusting that people would come out all the way and vandalise something that's just so beautiful and natural. Like, there's just no need for it.
The natural rock formation and waterfall are a spectacular sight that draw tourists from all over. The graffiti tag is starkly out of place, and locals say they're devastated.
It's absolutely disgusting. It's part of the area and its identity. To see something vandalised like this is wrong.
See that someone's come up and done the work that they've done to something that's a sacred area, and I just can't. Why?
If anyone has any information, please contact police. We'd really love to catch the people responsible and hold them to account.
A local Aboriginal group is liaising with authorities the best way to remove the graffiti. Josiah Hannah, 7 News.
By tomorrow, the nation's opposition leader could call Albury home. A win for Susan Lee would be a win for the people of Farah. At least that's the opinion of Ms Lee ahead of the Liberal showdown tomorrow.
Susan Lee celebrating Mother's Day with her family in Albury. She could have even more on her plate soon. The Liberals will vote tomorrow morning for their new leader.
I've been humbled by the overwhelming support that I've received so far.
If she's successful, it means the alternative Prime Minister will be living among us. Ms Lee says that can only be a good thing.
I know in my own seat of Farah we've been completely ignored by Labor. We need a strong and sensible voice that unites city and country, arguing for everyone, and I can be that voice.
The acting Liberal leader has to convince her party room colleagues that it should be a permanent promotion. She'd be looking good if it was up to the people of Farah.
That will be better for us, and he will have more impact on the development area.
Might not help, but hopefully it does.
It should do quite well.
I don't know much about her, but she couldn't be any worse than Peter Dutton.
Having someone remote might be a bit better understanding of our rural towns and what goes on here. Have a bit closer to home.
Not everyone on board. Wouldn't help at all.
Probably not. Honestly, no.
Vote me.
Vote Mum. Yeah.
But with Susan Lee running against an Angus Taylor Jacinta Price double act, which mum knows best?
Jackie, would you like that gone?
Daniel Herrero, 7 News.
Albury Council is tonight deciding if a new service station at Lavington's Five Ways intersection is given the green light. Daniel Herrero joins us now with more details on this. And Daniel, it's looking unlikely.
Maddie, the recommendation from council staff is to reject the DA, and traffic is just one of the reasons. The design means that traffic can only exit onto Wagga Road, adding cars to what is already the worst part of the notorious Five Ways. There are also concerns about queuing on Union Road and back into the intersection, plus pedestrian safety. The proposal comes from South Australian retail giant OTR, which has already spread to Wodonga. Some locals say Lavington has enough servos already, and while that's unlikely to be a factor, the DA does go against the Lavington CBD master plan, which calls for landmark buildings on the corner blocks of Five Ways. Council staff have already asked twice for more information from OTR, which has not addressed their concerns. Councillors will make the decision at tonight's meeting, but it's looking like a no TR. Maddie?
Thanks for that, Daniel. Daniel Herrero there.
A man's been charged after a rapid drink spiking test that was developed here in Albury found a woman's drink contained drugs. Now, there are calls for councils right across Australia to now stop the life-saving tests to better protect publicans and, of course, the patrons.
A palm-sized device preventing a patron's night from falling into the wrong hands.
We actually had an incident in Albury because the victim was able to seek medical assistance straight away and actually averted any further sinister outcome.
Police were called to a pub in the city at 2 a.m. on February 9 after a man was seen pouring a substance into a 26-year-old woman's drink.
The venue security swiftly confirmed it on CCTV and then approached the victim. They then took the beverage and told her that they've got to take testing.
The drink allegedly tested positive for GHB, a tasteless clear liquid that works as a depressant, often used for date rape and sexual assault. Police charged a 26-year-old man for possession of an illicit drug. The female drinker was taken to Albury Base for monitoring. Troy Stewart developed the kit 2 years ago in response to surging reports of drink spiking. It's since been running as a trial for 12 months in Albury.
Their pilot is proof that regional communities can lead national change. It's global change. If even one life is protected, that's reason enough for other councils to seriously consider deploying the MRBC in their licensed venues.
You can go out and know that the venues really are trying to ensure that everybody's safe and healthy.
Phoebe Wortley, 7 News.
Damning statistics have revealed that 70% of fatal road accidents are happening in regional New South Wales. It's prompted a widespread push to improve road safety, with 134 people already dead this year. 340. That's how many lives were lost on New South Wales roads last year. Almost 70% were on regional roads. Victims, both male and female, of all ages.
And 2/3 of that was in the country. So we need to work with government and with people to make sure that the road toll over time comes down.
134 people have already died on our state roads in 2025, which is 22 more than this time last year, making this year's Road Safety Week message, Drive So Others Survive, very relevant.
So it's very important that people do drive to conditions, and people don't go at 65 when the speed limit is 60, so casual speeding is very critical.
This week coincides with 100 years of road safety with New South Wales Police. It's been more than 80 years since speed limits were enforced in built-up areas, and 24 years since school zones were introduced.
Those other initiatives, especially the school zones, there's no question saved many lives on our roads.
Regional towns across the state are constantly making changes to prevent the death toll from rising, like reducing speed limits in the main streets.
We have elderly people in the community or young kids that run out of cars in those CBD areas, and I don't think 30 kilometres an hour in a main street is too excessive.
Speeding isn't the only factor that attributes to a fatal crash. Run-down regional roads, which are still waiting to be fixed, are also to blame.
There's a large backlog in infrastructure, so over $3 billion is required, we think, to get the New South Wales roads up to standard, and a lot of that is in regional Australia.
Amy O'Halloran, 7 News.
And south of the border, Victoria Police have launched a blitz as part of Road Safety Week. Police are now targeting excessive speed, the dangerous behaviour, which is the most common offence on all of our roads.
We'll continue on. We're having a couple of problems here. New figures reveal that speed has contributed to more than 30 road deaths this year. That's compared to 23 at the same time last year. By keeping just 5 kilometres under the speed limit, drivers can reduce their risk of crashing by 15%. We'll continue on. Northeast Water is asking Myrtleford customers to reduce their water use to prevent restrictions in the coming months. The town relies on the Buffalo Creek storage, which is part of the unregulated Ovens and King River system. Myrtleford is particularly at risk during dry periods. Residents can reduce their daily water usage by taking shorter showers and running washing machines on full loads only. Well, Kirsty joins us now for a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, quite a nice day around today to start the working week.
Yes, Maddie. And before we get on to the weather, a very big welcome back to you. We've missed you. You've been on maternity leave.
Absolutely. Welcome back, Maddie. We have missed you. I know that our audience at home has missed you, so please never leave again.
Thanks, guys. It's lovely to be back. Yeah, and it's been a great day. Plenty of sunshine to welcome you back to, Maddie. And hello, everybody. Our settled weekend weather has continued for the start of our new working week. A bit of patchy cloud overnight in yesterday's warm, so we wait to minimums in the high single figures, even double digits for Corowa this morning. A bit of scatter cloud persisted throughout today with temperatures around the low 20s. Colcan 24 and Albury the same. But once again, these maximums are still about 6 degrees above our May average. 11 in Mount Buller, 10 degrees for Mount Hotham, but with barely a breeze, so we didn't have that wind chill cooling us down today. The week ahead looking very similar, a bit of cloud clearing, mild temperatures and some light winds. I'll have our week in weather coming up a little after 4.
Kirsty, that sounds very good indeed. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Still to come in 7 News, more than 200 people rally against domestic violence.
And celebrating our heroes in scrubs. It's all happening on International Nurses Day. Hundreds of people have passed the Yarrawonga foreshore in the wake of a local woman's death. 46-year-old Kylie Sanders was fatally struck by a car after trying to intervene in an argument between a man and woman last month. Friends and family of the victim, a survivor, stood in solidarity with police on Saturday. They're calling for change to make sure we all stamp out gender-based violence. On average, a woman is killed violently in Australia, sadly, every 4 days. And of course, if you or anyone you know ever needs support, you can contact 1-800-RESPECT at 1-800-737-732.
Well, nurses help bring new life into the world and care tirelessly for the sick and wounded. That dedication and hard work has been recognised at hospitals around the region on a day celebrating our heroes in scrub.
A career built on compassion.
I became a nurse because I really want to care for people. I really want to help people.
These hallways, their second home. Around on people's best and worst days. Today, it's all about nurses.
Our health system would be, a lot worse situation now if we didn't have the nurses we have.
I've had a couple of operations and they've been very kind to me, so I don't mind going and being spoiled.
I'm very proud of the nurses that I work with. They are professional, they are committed and dedicated people who really care about the people that they serve.
This year's theme, Our Nurses, Our Future, recognising the importance a healthy nursing workforce plays in shaping and strengthening the community. But with lacking nurse-to-patient ratios, growing workforce shortages, and low pay in New South Wales, many are run off their feet. And this year, these scrubbed-up workers are continuing to call for more than just a pat on the back from the Health Minister.
What do we want? The nurse at Albury actually came up with the slogan, nurses need a raise, not just praise, and that's so true. Like, none of us went into nursing to become millionaires, but at the end of the day, we do need to be fairly remunerated for the work that we do.
Hannah Hartup, 7 News.
Well, stay with us at 7 News. Up next, the Saints go marching in Hume League footy.
And the Dogs bite back in Ovens and Murray.
In Hume footy, the Saints continue to march in. The team has triple the number of wins than it did this time last season.
After one win last season, traditional powerhouse Brocklesby Burrenbuddick again look a finals-capable team. Taking on Billabong Crows, it was a game many expected them to win, and they started well, leading by 29 at half-time.
Holding the man, umpire, should be a free kick. Carey will run onto it, take the advantage to kick the goal, young man, and he does.
Well done.
With both playing for a spot in the top 5, there was plenty of feeling between the two teams. Umpires were also in the firing line, smothering Ryan Murray's kick as the Saints continued to extend their lead.
Carey, gone long, deep into the goal square. Well, I'll tell you what, that's why. That's an outstanding effort.
Coach Jed Brain fast becoming a league medal favourite with 4 goals.
He might look to dump it off here.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to swing around.
Not now, he won't. Look at the goal. Look at the goal.
Look at that.
Crows managing just 4 for the match. The home side victorious 418-102 to 4-6-30 to move into 5th on the ladder. Meanwhile, Ranwell, Bundry-Waller and Howlong have played out a tight match with the lead changing several times. But Howlong kicked 4 goals late in the match, which proved the difference to win 9-16-70 to 6-12-48. In other matches, Osborne and Lockhart remain undefeated, while Ryan Beveridge kicked 9 goals in the Powers' big win. Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
Wodonga are now back in the mix after claiming a second win of the Ovens and Murray season. The Dogs are now just 1 game outside the top 5 in what's shaping up as quite an intriguing season.
With 1 win in their first 4 matches, Wodonga were ready to fly in round 5 against Yarrawonga. Adam Jorgensen with a Mark of the Year contender, with his 2 goals valuable to a Wodonga half-time lead of 29. After a 6-2 second term, the third saw the game turn contested with just 3 goals kicked. Wodonga kicking 1-7 for the quarter, keeping the door open for the Pigeons going into the last. The bad kicking, though, not costly. Wodonga claiming a crucial second win, 12-12-84 to 7-7-49. Meanwhile, Wodonga Raiders stunned the North Albury home crowd in the first quarter to lead by 3 points. Raiders continued to have their moments, but the remainder of the game went according to expectations. The Hoppers kicking 13 goals to 4 in the second half to cruise home to a 4th win and remain equal top. North Albury winners 2016 136 to 99-63. In other matches, Albury and Myrtleford both claim wins, putting them in the top 5. Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
There were some big goal kickers across the region's footy leagues over the weekend. In the Tallangatta League, Luke Grecky kicked 12 goals for Thagoona, while Guy Telford booted 13 for Kiwa. In Ovens and King, the scores were a little smaller, with Cooper Thompson kicking 7 for Bright. But in Upper Murray, Kajiwa's John Spencer upstaging them all, kicking 23 goals against Corryong. Well, it's been a good weekend for Brad Jones Racing in Tasmania, with every driver recording a top 10 finish. Jackson Evans, Macaulay Jones and Bryce Fullwood all recording personal best finishes this season. Evans finished in the top 10 in 2 of the races, while Fullwood claiming the team's only podium finish, coming 3rd in race 1. David Reynolds also finished inside the top 10 in 2 races. Albury Hotspurs and Albury City have new soccer trophies in their cabinets tonight. Hotspurs thrashing Boomers in the Women's FA Cup final, while Albury City upset Myrtleford 3-2. In basketball, Bandits women claimed back-to-back road wins, while the men suffered 2 losses. Albury Thunder have won their 2nd game of the rugby league season, proving too good for Cootamundra. And in rugby union, Steamers fell 13 points short against Woggers Charles Sturt University. Well, Kirsty is back in just a couple of moments, and she will take a full look at your week ahead in local weather.
Good evening once again. Another lovely settled week on the forecast across the state, with a ridge of high pressure extending across both Victoria and New South Wales, generating those cool mornings but mostly sunny days and contributing to these above average temperatures. A cold front will sweep through the state though midweek, with overnight temperatures dipping and possibly returning us to areas of frost. Now, there are a few showers forecast around Melbourne and east towards the Gippsland coast. No more than around 5 millimetres though for the high country this week, and further north on the border remaining mostly fine. Tomorrow, settled conditions for most of the region. Some of us could wake to a little bit of early fog, but a clear day ahead with a nice light breeze. 23 and sunny for Benalla, 24 degrees in Rutherglen. Towards the mid-afternoon, a slight shower or 2 in the east, but otherwise fine and settled. Beechworth, patchy cloud and 22 degrees rather. Now, that slight chance of any showers should clear out midweek with gorgeous blue skies on the forecast. Cobram, a very sunny 24 degrees. Corryong reaching 22, and winds barely dropping to a breeze, so a lovely autumn day across our region. Mansfield 21 and double figures through both Falls Creek and Mount Buller, tops of 11 degrees. But overnight on Wednesday, a cold front will sweep through the region, cooling us down into Thursday morning. Just 1 degree in Rutherglen, 4 degrees for Albury, Wodonga, and possible frost returning in the morning for parts of the high country, also down to 1 degree at Mount Hotham, and even the same in Wangaratta. Remaining in the 20s during the day, though, plenty of blue skies to keep us going. Through to the next 7 days, another cooler spell as we head into the weekend overnight, but our maximums remaining relatively mild, back down to the teens by Sunday. We are still sitting about 3 to 4 degrees above average, though, for the week ahead. Nice to see plenty of sunshine too.
Yeah, not quite ready to welcome winter.
No, not yet. Still a little while to go.
All right, thanks, Kirsty.
And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching.
Stay with us at 7 up next, 7 News from Melbourne. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow night for more local news at 6.